Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that long ago there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I'd already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not like that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So, I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. Wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you'd give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. Oh yeah, I remember this music. It's very wacky. What is it, you guys? Step back, Rena. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Satoko-chan is... Her name was Satoko... Huojo? She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks is annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap. A blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious. Satoko! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Ki-chan. I guess that means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, this eraser is normal. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. That sounds excessively violent. So then, why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko is after. Making me focus my attention upward. So, as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the blackboard eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. But in the end, nothing more than a trivial machinations of a child. Short of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Ki-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. My, what do we have here? Fair morning to you, Ki-chan. Or Kei-chan, Keiichi-chan. Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow. It seemed like I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. The small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, pain, go away. The small, dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't sprain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do. It's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. Pain's going away now. Yay, Rika-chan, good morning! Good morning to you, Rena. Oh yeah, I didn't get to look at these people either. Whoops. Oh, this is very big face. It's very large. Good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Neon, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling rather deliberately, trying to avoid eye contact. There we go, I need to see what this one looks like. Oh, look at those hands! Like, everything else is, you know, kind of dorky, but the hands are ginormous. Like, she just got it stuck in something and it swelled up to the size of a balloon. It's good stuff. I'm the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof. Ah! I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Try saying that, if you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. It can split plywood right in half. Eek! Stop, get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Yeah, those are the kind of noise I'm going to avoid making. It doesn't bother me. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah. Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. Think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. Yep. Satoko-chan is crying. Yep, that's the kind of thing we're gonna be avoiding right there. Because I remember reading a lot of those when I was reading through it, and I'm like, I don't want to read that. You can't take them home. Huh? But... You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit is fine. Is fine? Rena kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena into the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satoko, that inkstone is yours, right? Just from me on single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bed lamp from before had been neatly tidied up. Aha, we made it in time! Rise, attention! Mion gave them the morning commands. So far, seems like we're set up for a happy, normal slice of life anime, minus that, well, not anime, sorry, a visual novel, minus that little strange bit at the beginning. Surely couldn't turn into a bloodbath of any sort, right? Which, by the way, I should also add, I haven't seen the anime as well. I actually don't know much of anything about it other than that I've been told it is rather gruesome. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher, and helping Rena and Mion with their studies. You're a pretty good teacher, Kiichi-kun. Easy to understand. Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. It makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things, which I'm not super familiar with that statement, so let me look it up really quick. A policy or attitude of letting things take their own course without interfering. Laissez-faire. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on, with these marks. It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exams a little at a time. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than someone who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams. Mi-chan, Kiichi-kun is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too. You're a good and honest kid, Rena. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school. Thanks so much. Especially you, Rena. Private lessons, just the two of us. Private lessons? Puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rena's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question. So, in the city, do you have to study this much? If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university. So you study just to get into a university? Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future. Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock. That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. If anyone can get into university, then there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted throughout the classroom. Ki-chan, we're done! We're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime! In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period. Kichi-kun, let's have lunch! I might have been making a very troubled face. Rena smiled brightly at me. Alright, let's eat. I have a feeling that this is a very, what's the right word? Very relaxed translation, where they didn't probably hit for the exact words that they used, but they tried to hit the feelings, which is kind of weird sometimes when you get these translations and it feels so casual, if that makes sense. I don't know, just something I kind of noticed is playing through it, now playing through it again. There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rena and Mion pushed their desks together, so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Riko-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well. Kiichi-kun, hurry, hurry! Rena waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunchboxes. Kiichi-san's lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crust, like some sort of destitute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come on now. Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Hey, sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative Me, please give the signal to start. At first, this is kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else is too slow. Our ages and gender may have all been different, but we were all friends. Let's eat. The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course, there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls. Well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle where everyone is free to pick at them. I thought girls wouldn't mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anyone's lunch. My, isn't Sir Kiichi's lunch extravagant today? My, isn't Madame Satoko's lunch extravagant as well? The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Buying into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross-counter stabbing into each other's lunch. My, how delicious. Oh, this taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too, even cold. After seeing my happy face, Rika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. I saved some from dinner last night. By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan's lunches are always the same. Seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too. These taste like Mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing! Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. Oh ho ho ho! That's nothing for you to boast about. Rena's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know... It seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so I made a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope? It's got high marks from me. Ah, Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kinda bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena. Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on. How did you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Kiichi-san. I said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not much different from Kiichi-chan, Satoko. Can you tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? Satoko's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know? Of course I can. I really can. It's really hard for her to lie. This feels like the beginning. Was it the beginning? I think it was the beginning of Lucky Star, where they spent like half an episode talking about food. Kiichi-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Mi-chan too! Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Satoko. Well, well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this? Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a bit of green stuff wrapped in bacon. But that's very wrong. Mion made eye contact with me and within 0.3 seconds had Rika-chan's mouth covered, holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible. The yellow one is cauliflower. No, wait, the green one is cauliflower. So what? Probably the yellow one is broccoli, the blue one is cauliflower, but the green one is, do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest. The way she drives people into a corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal. I do know. I really do. Then answer the question. I know. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. How about no? Rena entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Rena was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Rena! Mimi is picking on me! It's okay, Rena One-chan. We'll take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Noises. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Both of Rena's fists shot out at supersonic speeds, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. You can tell because her fists are like giant marshmallows. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rena. See, Satoko-chan? I took care of them. I want to take you home. Making sure Rena couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Using Rena like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. Alright, we're close-ish to an hour. I'll stop there. Just, as a quick recap, make sure to use Rot 13 for spoilers. Hope you guys are all enjoying it. Let me know, what you think. Anything you'd like to leave in. This is just, because I know visual novels, a lot of people like to, change things and do different things. This is just stock Steam version of Higurashi. If there's anything that I would particularly benefit from, let me know. But otherwise, this is what we'll be playing. I can't really think of much else, so just thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I've been told this is shorter than Umineko by a good bit, so maybe it won't be quite as long of an endeavor. But it is still a decently long visual novel as far as I know. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. And we're just getting started with the adventure. Bye!